morning. So if you would, welcome. And also I'd like to make special notice of our University of Nebraska Kearney Superintendent Certificate, if you will, classes ran by Ken Nelson. So welcome. We're very glad that you're here.
I don't know if he's really running it, but he...
I'd like to oversee it. Well, good morning again and welcome, sir. Welcome everyone to the State Board of Education. Roll call, please.
John Witzel,
Here.
Patricia Tim,
Yes.
Patsy Ko-Johns, Rachel Wise, Lisa Fricke,
Here.
Patrick McPherson,
Here.
Molly O'Halloran,
Present.
Maureen Nichols,
Present.
Commissioner Bloomstead.
Present.
Thank you very much. Just a note, Patsy Koch-Johns, Rachel Wise contacted me in advance to let me know they would be absent from today's meeting due to national meetings outside the state. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Information regarding the Open Meetings Act is posted on the east wall of this room on the south side of the door. Live web streaming will be available through the State Board of Education website. I'd like to remind board members to engage their microphones before speaking and to turn them off when they are done speaking. And please turn off your cell phones. Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the May 3-4 2018 State Board of Education meeting?
So move.
Second.
Second. Denise, roll call.
Nichols,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
Fricke,
Yes.
Wise, Ko-Johns, Tim,
Yes.
Witzel.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Commissioner Bloomstead, are there any recommended changes for today's agenda?
I don't believe so. Patrick, you had your question answered. You're good on that, or did you want to?
I
take it?
did.
Okay. All right. So
Very-
I think we're covered on that.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
So move.
Second.
Denise, roll call.
Fricke,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Ko-Johns, Wise, 6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you very much, Denise. We will now have public comment period. This period of public comment is available for any person who wishes to address the State Board on subjects within its authority. Please note that public comment should be on topics related to the State Board's constitutional and statutory authority. Thanks to the members of the public who attend today, we have no requests for appearance. With that, other public comment, we will now move to our regular public comment period. I would like to remind you to please sign in if you've not already done so. There are sign-in cards at the back of the room. I have 2 public comment cards turned in, and public comment will speak in the order the cards were received. Each member of the public will receive 5 minutes to speak during the public comment period. I will announce the name of the speaker and the person who is up next, so they will be prepared to come forward. With that, Rachel Pinkerton, welcome, ma'am. And on deck is Scott DeBates.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am sharing with you an American Thinker article detailing a catastrophic drop in the reading proficiency produced by American schools. According to the Bureau of Education, 100 years ago, at least 99% of U.S. students were literate. The second handout is some literacy statistics that tell a very sad story. 85% of juveniles in the court system are functionally illiterate. as are more than 60% of prison inmates. Over 70% of America's prison inmates can't read above a 4th grade level. As we implement provisions passed into law, it's been some hard work in the legislatures and by the department as well. We have LB 1052 and LB 1081 that incorporated the substance of LB 651. As we implement those, we need to abandon the status quo and return to literacy. Here's a hint. Children once were instructed with phonics, and the most humble farmers and tradespeople were proficient in reading the classics. I also have provided for you some pictures. Turning Point USA update. It's been a big year for this organization. It's just celebrated its 6th anniversary of its founding, and their message of free speech, free markets, and American exceptionalism has been given a boost by Communications Director Candace Owens, pictured here with TPUSA founder and president Charlie Kirk and President Donald Trump. And then in conclusion, today I'm excited to share with you news of the release of a book by LaVon Stennis Williams. When I grow up, I want to be like the brave men of Tuskegee. And I had the great pleasure of attending LaVon Stennis Williams' author's party, and as did Mrs. Julian, and it was such fun. I was thinking bookstore and a veggie tray when and it was at a lounge, and there was music, and there was phenomenal food, and it was so much fun, especially because the family members who appear in the book were at the party. This is the young man, Brandon is LaVon's grandson, and LaVon's husband, Brant, is the papa in the book, and it's fabulous, and she wants to come talk to you probably in August. I'm sure she'd be happy to inscribe a book to you if you want to let her know, and she can bring it. You can buy her book. They're available in well, you have the flyer. They're available in hard copy and in paperback, and she has information about her work in juvenile justice reform, as well as her exciting work as an author. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pinkerton. Thank you very much, ma'am. Mr. Debates.
Hello, I'm a dermatologist. More specifically, I'm a Mohs surgeon that specializes in the removal of skin cancers. And so I could expound on this for hours, and I got 5 minutes to kind of tell you what I want you to know. Ultraviolet radiation that comes from the sun, or even in a more concentrated form from tanning beds, leads to damage of the skin and leads to down the road skin cancers and things like that. Some of you may have already felt the bite of that and looked back and wondered what you could have done differently that you might have been able to prevent some of these things. It is a compounded injury. It adds up. It's additive. It keeps coming as your life goes on. You accumulate more and more sun damage to the point that at some point you hit a threshold where you start to make precancers or cancers, and then you start to wonder what you could have done differently. At this point, you kind of wonder, well, what does this have to do with the Board of Education? Well, one of the problems that my wife has identified, because she works in the public school system, is that after a nice cold winter, the kids come back, they start to go outside, they have activities, physical education, sports that are outside, and there is not a across-the-board Nebraska policy on who can and bring sunscreen Some schools are like, well, you have to check it in at the nurse's office. Some schools are, you have to make sure that you can't have it in your locker, or you have to, that they just really don't have a good firm grasp of what they can and can't do. So they all have a little different take on what's possible. So what I was hoping to do is just kind of convey to you guys that if you could make a across the board some type of policy that would say, hey, it's okay for them to bring their own sunscreen, it's okay for them to get it applied, so that at least they have some amount of protection when they start doing these outdoor activities. I always have to backtrack a little bit. I have 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So when it comes to sunscreen, it's not the end-all be-all for protection. In fact, if it was, we would have seen a decrease in skin cancer over the last 30 years since it's been invented. What we've actually seen is an explosion of skin cancer, and I think that that's partly to do with the inappropriate use of sunscreen. So this is more for your families and everybody else that may be listening, is that don't use sunscreen to prolong your time out in the sun. It's not a perfect block. You're still getting damage. You may be blocking the burn, but the burn is your warning system. One coating of sunscreen, I'm going to play golf all day. One coating of sunscreen, I'm going to lay on the beach or by the pool. That actually adds to your damage, and it causes trouble down the road, which you won't find out until later. But that, going back, that doesn't mean sunscreen is a bad thing. In fact, that's why I'm here, is that I want there to be some type of policy to make sure that people, the administration, the school officials, everybody feels comfortable that students can bring in sunscreen, that it's not something they have to run off and hide as they apply, so that they can at least protect themselves for the times they have to be in the sun. And since I got a little bit more time, it'd be great if you could provide a little more sun protection, and whether it's trees or something when they're out in their physical education activities or anything like that. Anything that gets them out of the sun, because it's not just about sunscreen, it's about sun protection, avoidance of it, promote the wearing of clothing such as this, which is a UV protected shirt that actually does a much better job than sunscreen, because it doesn't rub off, doesn't sweat off or anything like that. You can kind of see my tan line is here, because I do put sunscreen on my hands, but it still lets rays through. So that's kind of my point there. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much, sir. Moving right along. Okay. We'll go now into hearings. And is there a motion to go into executive session?
I move that the State Board of Education go into executive session to discuss the Commissioner's job performance and appraisal, and to receive advice from legal counsel regarding the Commissioner's contract as necessary to protect the public interest and to prevent needless injury to the Commissioner's reputation.
Second.
Denise, please call roll.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Kojons, Wise, Fricky,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Denise. The board will now go into executive session only for the purpose of the commissioner's job performance and appraisal, and to receive advice from legal counsel regarding the commissioner's contract. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the State Board of Education will now come back into session.
I move that the
Nope.
state, oops,
Is there,
yeah, I gotta have a motion.
is there a motion to come out of the executive session?
I lost it. I move that we come out of executive session and back into regular session, the State Board of Education.
Second.
Roll call?
I'm sorry, I got
No,
really
there's no
overly
problem.
excited.
Not a problem. Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
John? Wise? Ricky?
Yes.
McPherson?
Yes.
O'Halloran?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
We will now move into the action items on today's agenda. Vice President Tim, is there a motion on item 7.1.A on State Board Bylaw B19?
I move to approve proposed revisions to State Board Bylaw B19, computer equipment, internet access, and electronic acceptance use.
Is there a second?
Second.
Denise, please call roll.
Nichols?
Yes.
O'Halloran?
Yes.
McPherson?
Yes.
Fricky?
Yes.
Wise? Co-Johns? Tim?
Yes.
Witzel?
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you very much, Denise. Moving on to the Commissioners' Appraisal Committee. Is there a motion on item 7.2.A on approving the employment agreement between the State Board and Matthew L. Bloomstead?
I move to approve the employment agreement between the State Board of Education and Matthew L. Bloomstead.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please, Denise.
Fricky?
Yes.
McPherson?
Yes.
O'Halloran?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Witzel?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Co-Johns? Wise? 6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you very much. In regards to the AQuest Student Success and Access Domain Committee, Molly O'Halloran. Molly, is there a motion on item 7.3.A to amend the contract with OCIO?
I move to authorize the Commissioner to amend a contract with the Office of Chief Information Officer, OCIO, to extend the dates to fit the revised timeline of the Direct Certification Improvement Grant and to adjust the scope of the work.
Second.
Here in a second, any discussion on this motion?
Yes, I just wanted to comment. I said this yesterday. This was a grant where I believe the startup date was altered by about a month and a half. It started a little late. There were some changes made in the process to include more training. And I just think from a communication standpoint, it's important the board be informed during these processes that there have been changes in these contracts or changes that do impact what we've already approved. So I think that's a communication issue that should come to the board when we see those things happening, so there are no surprises and we don't ask, well, why didn't we know this earlier? Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick, for your comments. Roll call, please, Denise.
McPherson?
Yes.
O'Halloran?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Fricky?
Yes.
Wise? Co-Johns? Tim?
Yes.
Witzel?
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Denise. Molly, is there a motion on item 7.3.B to fund the Planning Region Team System Support Grant?
I move to grant the Commissioner the authority to fund the Planning Region Team System Support Grant in the provision of federally required IDEA Part C duties.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing, hearing none, Denise, please call roll.
Tim?
Yes.
Witzel?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
McPherson?
Yes.
O'Halloran?
Yes.
Fricky?
Yes.
Co-Johns? Wise? 6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you very much, Denise. Molly, is there a motion on item 7.3.C to contract with UNMC MMI in support of RDA?
I move to grant the Commissioner the authority to enter into a contract with the University of Nebraska Medical Center, Monroe Meyer Institutes, MMI, Division of Education and Child Development, to provide evaluation and analysis services in support of the Federal Results-Driven Accountability, RDA, reporting of early childhood, birth to 5 child outcomes.
Is there a
Second.
second? Any discussion on this motion? Seeing and hearing none, Denise, please call roll.
Fricky,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Co-Johns, Wise, Nichols,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
McPherson.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Denise. Molly, is there a motion on item 7.3.d to contract with Embassy Suites Lincoln for MTSS?
I move to grant the Commissioner the authority to contract with the Embassy Suites Lincoln for services which will support training on multi-tiered systems of support for Nebraska educators.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion on this motion? Yes.
I don't have a discussion, but I believe it was pointed out yesterday that this training had, there were 400 participants last year, and they were potentially looking at 800, so it's well-deserved approval here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And
Molly?
I'd further comment, again, I think this is a flaw that we have in our grant process, is that I don't believe in the narrative that it showed that we went from 400 to 800 folks. You know, when we're increasing costs or we're doing anything like this, we ought to be able to make this clearer to the public and to the board members as we vote on it. Thank you.
Molly?
Yeah, I just wanted to compliment the 3 board members that have signed up to attend this meeting in Lincoln. And if you are interested in the multi-tiered systems of support and want to know a little bit more about it, please, the other ones that haven't signed up, you still, I think there's still time for you to request going.
Thank you, Molly. Very well. Denise, please call roll.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Wise, Co-Johns, Witzel.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you very much, Denise. Molly, is there a motion on item 7.3.e to contract with ESU 10 to provide support for ATP?
I move to grant the Commissioner the authority to approve a contract with ESU number 10 to maintain and operate the statewide Assistive Technology Loan Pool and to provide support to the Assistive Technology Partnership, ATP, education program.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I was just going to comment that this is really a move to provide more equitable service throughout the state for these assistive technology tools. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Denise, please call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
O'Halloran.
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise, Co-Johns. 6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Denise. Molly, is there a motion on item 7.3.f to fund the Adult Education Family Literacy Act grants?
I move to grant the Commissioner the authority to fund the Adult Education and Family Literacy Act grants, Title II of the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I just have, we invited the adult education representative from NDE to make a presentation to the entire board, and I hope you'll all enjoy that. He's pretty amazing, and we're doing a lot of good things for adult education.
Good.
Thank you, Molly. Denise, please call roll.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
Wise, Fricky,
Yes.
Co-Johns, Tim,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Denise. Molly, is there a motion on item 7.3.g to contract with Kelsey Coomer?
Yes, I move to grant the Commissioner the authority to contract with Kelsey Coomer for the 2018-2019 year to provide targeted leadership and support in 2 career education career field areas.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, Denise, please call roll.
McPherson,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Co-Johns, Tim,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Wise, O'Halloran.
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you very much. Budget and Finance Committee.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
no,
I'm sorry.
we moved.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and do this one since it's here.
okay. Okay, very good. Pat, is there a motion on item 7.3.g to contract with ESU 1?
This is just a little bit out of order because it got put in the wrong place, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. I move to grant the commissioner the authority to contract with ESU 1 for services and continued support for Santee Community Schools for the period July 1, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise, Co-Johns, Tim,
Yes.
Witzel.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Okay, now we go.
Okay. Is there a motion on item 7.4-A on authority to contract with MTW Solutions Limited Liability Corporation?
I move to grant the Commissioner the authority to contract with MTW Solutions LLC for services and continuing support for the Nebraska Department of Education Grants Management System for the period July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Denise, please call roll.
Nichols,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise, Co-Johns, Tim,
Yes.
Witzel.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Denise. Is there a motion on item 7.4.B to repeal Rule 9?
I move to repeal Rule 992 NAC 9, Regulations and Procedures for Proration of Affiliated School Systems Bond Funds.
Is there a second? Seconded by McPherson. Is there discussion on this motion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Witzel,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
Co-Johns, McPherson,
Yes.
Wise, Fricky.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Denise. Vice President Tim, is there a motion on item 7.5.A on accreditation for schools under Rule 10?
Yes, I move to approve accreditation for schools appearing on the accompanying list for the 2018-2019 school year in accordance with the provisions of Rule 10, 92 NAC 10, Regulations and Procedures for the Accreditation of Schools.
Second.
Is there a second? Discussion?
Just
See
to
any
let,
hit-
just to let everyone know, our 244 school districts have been approved for accreditation.
Very good. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Denise, please call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
Co-Johns, McPherson,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise, 6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Denise. Vice President Tim, is there a motion on item 7.5.B on contracting with KLK Consulting Incorporated?
Yes. I move to grant the Commissioner the authority to contract with KLK Consulting Incorporation for services and continuing support for Nebraska's priority schools for the period July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just, I guess I want to reiterate what I said yesterday. I understand why we're doing this, and we need to continue doing this, but at the same time, as we look forward to this organization being able to not only meet the demands of the priority schools, but to deal with the ESSA schools, what's the term? Needs improvement schools, and whether it be 33 or 85, I think at some point this board has to, or the department has to develop the resources within. Hopefully they're learning from this process, and I think they are, but to develop the resources within to deal with these needs improvement schools. Thank you.
Molly?
And I just wanted to, first of all, really thank the KLK group for, that sounds funny, doesn't it? Well, anyway, the KLK Consulting Incorporated for their services. I am looking forward to the transparency of best practices linked with our website with the priority schools, because we'll get more bang for our buck if it isn't just those 3 or 4 schools in which we are intervening, but if those best practices can be shared throughout
Very
all 244 districts.
Sure.
Thank you, Molly. Yeah, Lisa?
Just briefly, I just want to reiterate how good a job this organization has done, as evidenced by in our committee meetings, hearing from these schools directly, and how on board they are with what they're being taught, and how it's being put into place, and how it is effectively helping all the kids in their school. So I appreciate their work.
Very good, Lisa. Thank you very much. No further comments? Denise, please call roll.
Fricky,
Yes.
Witzel,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
O'Halloran.
Yes.
Co-Johns, McPherson,
Yes.
Wise, 6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you very much, Denise. Moving on to the approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I just want to point out, I had some concerns about item 8.6A, and I asked if there was a issue because it had not been bid out since 2001. And I think it would have been helpful to know that this was a single source provider. I also think that, again, this is a situation where maybe more information would have been helpful to me and to the public. Certainly, we're providing this service to 244 school districts across the state. If you're a smaller school district, you're not having to pay for these translation services or pay for these forms. But I didn't know that until I asked the question. And I think we can do a better job of providing more information on all of these grants. And I also think, as I was thinking through the process, that we ought to be able to, when we're providing one of these grants, either refer to some kind of a rule or refer to our strategic plan as to, you know, how that fits into what we are doing. So I just asked the commissioner, you know, I think we really need to make some effort on grants as far as being more transparent to the public, disclosing more information as to why we're doing it, what it affects, and the more information. And even if you had I'm presuming that in many cases that this document is available somewhere with all the backup information. Even if you had the ability under this system, under the Spark system, to click to that document and look that up, that would be very helpful for not only board members, but for the public. So thank you very much.
Denise, please call the roll.
O'Halloran.
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
Wise, Co-Johns, Tim,
Yes.
Witzel.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Very good. Do we have any special presentations or discussions, Commissioner?
No, we don't.
Very good. Board reports, dates, discussion items. Is there a motion to approve the meetings that took place in the past that were not previously approved for Lisa Fricky and Patsy Coach-Johns for attending the Moore Middle School special presentation on May the 15th, 2018? Is
So
there a
moved.
second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Denise, please call roll.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Co-Johns, Wise, Fricky,
Abstain.
McPherson,
Yes.
O'Halloran. Yes. Nichols.
Yes.
5 yes, 2 absent, 1 abstain.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve meetings that took place in the past that were not previously approved for John Witzel for attending the NCE conference on June 4 and 5, 2018?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Denise, please call roll.
Nichols,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise, Cojones, Tim,
Yes.
Witzel.
Abstain?
5 yes, 2 absent, 1 abstain.
Moving on. Is there a motion to approve meetings that took place in the past that were not previously approved for Patsy College Johns for attending the NASBE LEEP National Cohort on June 7th through 8, 2018? Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll make the motion.
Sorry.
You're
So,
getting ahead of yourself.
Did you
I'm
make the
sorry.
motion, then I'll second?
I'll make the motion, you can second.
Okay, works for me.
Discussion. Hearing none, Denise, please call roll.
Witzel,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Cojones, Wise, Fricky,
Yes.
McPherson,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve the future meeting participation?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Denise, please call roll.
McPherson,
Yes.
O'Halloran,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Fricky,
Yes.
Wise, Cojones, Tim,
Yes.
Witzel.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, thank you very much, Denise. The next items are information items and written reports for the board and for your information only. A work session will be held on Thursday, August the 2nd at 2 p.m., and the board meeting will be held on Friday, 3 August, 9 a.m. in this room. The June State Board meeting is now adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.